Ladies and gentlemen, we have to have this discussion today because this has kind of been weighing on my mind ever since this season kicked off. As we know, the scatter signal is the new strand rapid fire frame fusion rifle, and it is really good. We go ahead and pull up the perk pull for this weapon real quick. We already did a whole separate video on this weapon, however, so I'm just gonna go over it again real quick. The biggest thing to know about this weapon is that it is the first rapid fire frame fusion rifle with control burst. That's a big W. And then the third column, you would either go with overflow or the sneaky option of slice. Although me personally, I just prefer overflow and controlled burst. Never go wrong with a fat mag. And hold up to like 16 in the mag with enhanced overflow, by the way. On top of that, we have the unraveling orbs mod on the artifact, where just by picking up an orb of power, you're going to give your strand weapons unraveling rounds. Very, very good. Just adds a little bit more damage. Now, I have had some people ask me, be like, bro, scatter signal versus Cartesian. I'm just like, bro, you can run both. So how about scatter signal versus riptide? They're both kinetic slot fusion rifles, one stasis, the other strand, but they're both rapid fire frames. Now, if we go ahead and look at the perk pull of the riptide, you'll notice it's really thick. That is, of course, because it is a vendor weapon, but you are able to use your crucible ingrams to actually go ahead and focus yourself riptides if you want. However, do keep in mind that it is going to cost you 3 crucible ingrams per riptide. All right, a little steep there. Now, the main perks that people like to go for, we'll start off in the third column, would be either auto-loading holster or left from gold. Field prep, you can work with that, right? And then in column 3, you have Vorpal, Frenzy, or Chill Clip. If you want to go for the damage perk, I'd probably go for Vorpal here, just because Frenzy and Vorpal do give the same 15%, but Vorpal's always going to be active. Frenzy's going to be active a decent amount too, but for this specific weapon, I would think Vorpal's just a little bit better. And then Chill Clip is obviously where this thing got its name to fame. Rapid fire with chill clip, really good, especially these days now that you can use chill clip weapons to deal with champions and something like a grandmaster. Even though chill clip did get a nerf, it's still going to always stun an overload champion in one shot, and it can still stun an unstoppable champion as well, but it's going to take just, I think, one more shot to actually freeze it, and then you just have to go ahead and shatter the crystal once you freeze it, and that will stun the unstop. Although it's a little bit more work than just tagging him with one shot like you can with the overload ones. Either way, chill clip is still very good utility wise, especially in a Grandmaster Nightfall for stunning and dealing with champions. Also, let me go ahead and just remind you about our homies over at Instant Gaming, who are always trying to save you money on games and those games DLC. If you want to get your games in DLC for a cheaper price, you make sure you head over to Instant Gaming, top link in the description, along with their free monthly game giveaway that they do every single month. You can find that also towards the top of the description. So if you want to go for just outright raw damage, the better option is easily going to be the scatter signal, because of the fact that controlled burst is just a better damage perk for fusion rifles than anything else they can get. It's a 20% damage buff, first of all, and you get a decreased charge time as well, all in one perk. That's very strong, and it just further pushes the scatter signal up above the riptide, at least in terms of just outright raw damage. And then you just add in the fact that you can literally have it to where you have 16 shots in the mag, so you won't even reload it at all. I don't know what kind of damage rotation you're going for if you're using this in rotation or something like that, but having a 16 round mag will definitely help your cause, bro. Now, when we talk about in terms of utility wise, aka everything that is not just raw damage related, I would have to give the slight nod of approval towards the riptide, mainly just because of chill clip's sheer raw utility purposes that it possesses. Master content, grandmaster content, I would say low man content, but there's not that many raids where there are champions present in at least normal mode. And then you can also got to think about it, you know, it can be very useful slowing enemies and maybe just outright freezing them, depending if you're doing the future final shade day 1 raid, baby. Can't wait for June. It's all good. I got Power World to hold me over at the moment. Game is so much fun. No matter how you slice it, both of these weapons excel in one category better than the other does, which is good. Adds some variety instead of just a monopoly, aka forbearance. That gun can't get dethroned. They tried to. Did they try to with the undercurrent this season? Forbearance is king, bro. Sorry. So for me personally, right now, if you had to ask me which one of these weapons do I think is better than the other, I would say that I think that the scatter signal is better than the riptide, man. The riptide's always going to have a spot in the loadout just for its sheer utility purposes. But outside of that, dude, I'm rocking with the scatter signal all day. Control burst is just that good of a perk, and especially this season with unraveling orbs and torch. It also helps the riptide as well, but you get my point. Still though, at the end of the day, they're both really freaking good weapons, and everyone should have a good roll of each of them. Go ahead and let me know which one out of the two that you like more, and thank you for watching the video. Let me ask you a real question though real quick. Would you be interested in any Pal World content? Since I'm playing it so much at the moment, I'm gonna make some videos on it. Whether I post them here or on an entirely separate channel, I don't quite know yet. Thanks for listening to my question. Y'all be safe. I'll see you in the next one. Adios.